Chosen one. The moment you step into a room, the energy shifts. Not because you demand attention, not because you seek it, but because something within you pulls others in. Your presence is undeniable, your energy magnetic, and the world around you responds to it. The way people look at you, the way their demeanor changes when they speak to you, it all stems from one undeniable truth. You are not like the others. Women feel this before they can explain it. They are drawn to you, not simply because of your appearance, but because your energy carries a presence that commands without needing to ask. They sense something deeper, something rare, something they cannot find in just anyone. And because of this, they want to be the one you choose. But with this power, you are faced with something that few ever experience, a true abundance of choice. Unlike most who spend their time proving themselves, chasing, hoping to be seen, you are on the opposite end of the spectrum. It is not you who must seek, but you who must decide. And that chosen one is both a gift and a burden, because every choice you make shapes your path. Every decision alters the future in ways you cannot yet see. And in a world where you are desired, where options surround you, where people compete for your validation, it becomes easy to forget that not every choice is equal. Not everyone who seeks you is worthy of you. Not every path that opens before you leads to something great. Not every person who desires your presence will honor what it means to truly be in your world. This is the weight of your reality. The world has already decided that you are valuable, but now you must decide who is worthy of being close to you. Chosen one. There is a difference between being wanted and being truly valued. It is easy to be desired when your energy is rare, when your presence shifts the dynamic, when your confidence is felt before a single word is spoken. But true discernment comes in recognizing who sees you for what you are versus who is simply drawn to your light without understanding its depth. Many will try to earn your attention. They will speak in ways meant to intrigue you, move in ways meant to entice you, behave in ways meant to capture something they do not fully comprehend. They will admire the strength in you, the confidence, the energy that sets you apart, but they may not all respect what it means to stand beside you. You must be wise in your choices. You must see beyond the surface, beyond the compliments, beyond the fascination that others have with you. You must recognize the difference between someone who simply wants to be chosen and someone who understands the weight of being chosen by you. Because when a person stands beside you, when they are granted access to the energy you carry, they are stepping into something greater than themselves. They are aligning with a force that will either elevate them or expose their inability to rise. And many will not be ready for that. Many will think they want you until they realize what it truly means to be in your presence, to match your energy, to stand as your equal rather than your admirer. This is why you must choose carefully, not based on momentary attraction, not based on surface-level charm, not based on the temporary excitement of being pursued, but based on who is truly aligned with your path, who understands your value without needing to be reminded, who is not just drawn to your presence but capable of growing alongside it. Because in the end, it is not about how many want you, it is about who is worthy of standing with you. Chosen one. It is a strange reality to exist in a world where you are not the one who must prove, but the one who must decide. Many spend their lives chasing, hoping, striving to be seen, while you move through life as the exception, the one whose approval is sought, whose attention is desired, whose presence is valued without question. It is a power that few ever experience, but power, no matter how effortlessly it comes, must be handled with wisdom. It is easy to take it for granted, to enjoy the way people react to you, to revel in the knowledge that you do not need to seek because the world already sees you. But with this power comes responsibility, because your choices shape not just your own path, but the paths of those who are drawn to you. Women look at you and see possibility, see something they cannot quite explain, but feel in the deepest parts of themselves. Some admire you from a distance, others attempt to earn your attention, and a few will even believe they are entitled to it. They do not always understand why they feel this way. Only that being chosen by you means something. Something rare, something valuable, something that changes their sense of self. And that chosen one, is where the responsibility lies. Because when you hold this kind of presence, when your energy alone causes people to adjust themselves, to consider their actions, to question their worth in relation to you, you must be aware of the impact you have. Some will rise to meet you, eager to match your frequency, to grow in your presence, to align themselves with the standard you set without ever needing to demand it. But others will break under the weight of what it means to be around you. Some will seek validation they do not yet know how to give themselves. They will look to you to confirm their worth, to fill a void they have not yet learned to fill on their own. They will mistake attraction for destiny, will assume that being wanted by you is the same as being compatible with you. And when they realize that validation alone is not enough to stand beside you, they will struggle, they will resist, they will either transform or they will crumble. This is why your choices must be made with intention. Not just for yourself, but for the people who come into your orbit, the ones who believe that earning your attention is a reflection of their value. Because if you choose without thought, if you allow those who are not ready to stand beside you to believe they have secured a place they have not yet earned, you are doing them a disservice. You are not here to be the source of another's validation. You are not here to be used as proof that someone is worthy simply because they have managed to capture your interest. You are here to elevate, to inspire, to align yourself only with those who bring value in return. Because your presence is not a prize to be won, it is an experience to be honored. And only those who recognize that truth deserve to stand beside you. Chosen one, what is it that truly matters? In a world where you are surrounded by choices, where people seek to impress, where admiration is given to you freely, how do you distinguish between those who are interested in you and those who are worthy of you? It is not just about who desires you. Desire is easy, admiration is effortless, fascination is fleeting. What matters is who sees you beyond the surface, beyond the energy, beyond the presence that draws people in without effort. Many will be captivated by you, but how many will truly understand you? How many will take the time to know what drives you, what fuels your soul, what moves you beyond the attention you receive? How many will respect you not just for your magnetism, but for the depth of who you are beneath it? These are the things that determine who belongs in your world. Because true connection is not built on admiration alone. It is not sustained by attraction. It is not solidified by the thrill of the chase. True connection is built in the quiet moments, in the spaces where words are not necessary, in the unspoken understanding between two souls who recognize that validation is not the foundation of something real, alignment is. When you seek connection, seek someone who is not just drawn to you, but who is capable of standing beside you. Someone who does not just want your attention, but who adds to your life in ways that extend beyond the surface. Someone who does not need you to validate them, but who understands their own value even before they are chosen by you. Because the strongest connections are not built between someone who gives validation and someone who receives it. They are built between two individuals who are already whole on their own, but who choose to walk together because they see in each other a reflection of something greater. That is what you deserve, chosen one. And that is what you must demand. Because when you carry the kind of presence that makes people adjust themselves, when your energy alone shifts the balance in a room, when your validation is something that people fight to earn, you cannot afford to waste your time on those who are only interested in the idea of you, but who are not ready for the reality of what it means to be chosen by you. Your time is valuable, your energy is rare, and those who wish to be in your life must not just desire you, they must deserve you. Chosen one, when you become the one who is sought after, when your presence alone creates a reaction, when your validation is something people silently compete for, you find yourself in a position that few truly understand. You are no longer the one who must prove his worth, no longer the one who must chase, no longer the one who must wonder whether he is enough. That uncertainty, that doubt that so many face, does not exist in your world. Instead, you are the one who must choose. But with this power comes a burden. Because choosing is not as simple as it seems. It would be easy to pick the one who tries the hardest, the one who fights for your attention the most, the one who makes the greatest effort to stand out. It would be easy to reward persistence, to give in to the excitement of being desired, to let yourself be swept into the validation that others so desperately seek from you. But deep down, you know that attention does not equal compatibility. Desire does not equal depth. The need for your validation does not equal worthiness. And this is where the challenge begins. Because the more people want you, the harder it becomes to see who truly belongs in your world. Some will come to you not because they seek connection, but because they seek conquest. They want to be able to say they were chosen, to wear your validation as a badge, to use your attention as proof of their own value. They do not see you for who you are. They see you for what you represent, the unattainable prize that everyone wants but few can claim. Others will come to you because they crave the feeling of being desired by someone of your presence. They are drawn to your energy, fascinated by the way you command a room, intoxicated by the fact that you do not seek approval like the others. But admiration is not the same as understanding, and just because they are captivated by you does not mean they are ready for the reality of being close to you. And then, there are the rare few who do not just want you for the sake of winning, who do not just admire you from a distance, but who see beyond the surface, beyond the allure, beyond the energy that so many are drawn to. These are the ones who will challenge you, who will not just accept being in your presence, but will bring something of value into your world. These are the ones who do not need your validation to know their own worth, who do not chase you simply because you are wanted by many, but who step forward because they recognize something in you that aligns with their own path. And it is here, chosen one, that your greatest challenge lies. Because in a world where everyone is trying to impress you, trying to prove themselves to you, trying to be the one you choose, you must see through the illusion. You must look beyond who is the loudest, beyond who seeks you the most, beyond who appears to be the perfect match at first glance. You must trust yourself enough to know who is truly meant for you, not just who desires you the most. Because if you let desire alone dictate your choices, you may find yourself surrounded by many, yet understood by none. Chosen one, the greatest test of your strength is not in how many want you, but in your ability to walk away from those who are not meant for you. Because when you hold the kind of presence that makes people seek your validation, when your attention becomes something that others hunger for, there will be those who will try to convince you that choosing them is the obvious choice. They will say all the right things, do all the right things, present themselves in a way that makes them seem like the perfect option. They will play the part, wear the mask, shape themselves into the version of who they think you would want. But deep down, something will feel off. Because when someone is only trying to be what they believe you desire, when they are chasing your validation more than they are pursuing true connection, the foundation will always be weak. At first, it may seem thrilling. The chase, the attention, the effort they put into being chosen, it can all feel exciting. But over time, the cracks begin to show. The mask starts to slip. The effort fades, and what remains is someone who was never fully aligned with you to begin with. And that is when the real test begins. Because in that moment, you will have a choice. You can choose to stay, to convince yourself that because they tried so hard to win you, they must be the right choice. You can ignore the feeling in your gut, the subtle signs that something is missing, the realization that they were more interested in being validated by you than in truly understanding you. Or you can walk away, even when they do not expect it, even when they have given you every reason to believe they are the right choice, even when the world around you says you would be foolish to let them go. Because deep down, you know that true connection is not built on competition, is not built on admiration alone, is not built on the hunger for validation. It is built on alignment, on mutual understanding, on choosing someone who sees you beyond what others see, beyond the presence that draws people in, beyond the energy that makes you so sought after. And sometimes that means walking away from the easy choice, the obvious choice, the one that everyone else assumes you will pick. Because your validation is not something to be fought over. Your attention is not something to be won like a prize. Your energy is not something to be given to those who simply want it the most, but to those who truly deserve it. And so, chosen one, the power is not just in who you choose. It is in who you have the strength to walk away from. Because when you refuse to settle, when you refuse to be swayed by effort alone, when you stand firm in your own truth, you make it clear that the only ones who belong in your world are those who were never competing for validation to begin with, but who were already aligned with your path long before they ever sought to be chosen by you. Chosen one. When you reach a place where people seek your validation instead of the other way around, when your presence alone causes competition, when your name is spoken in whispers by those who wonder if they will ever have the privilege of being close to you, something strange begins to happen. It may seem like you have endless options, like the world has opened itself to you, like your path is lined with choices that others would envy. And in some ways that is true. But beneath the surface, beneath the excitement of being pursued, beneath the rush of knowing that others fight for your attention, there exists a quiet truth that only those in your position ever come to understand. Most of these choices are not real choices at all. Because when many seek to be chosen, when they present themselves as the perfect option, when they mold themselves to fit what they think you desire, it creates the illusion of abundance. It makes it seem as though you have more than enough possibilities before you, as though your only difficulty is in deciding which path to take. But what happens when so many of those paths lead to nowhere? What happens when you realize that many of those who seek your attention are doing so not out of true alignment, but out of the desire to win? This is the part that no one warns you about, the part that is rarely spoken of, the part that makes having options feel like a curse rather than a gift. Because now, the pressure is on you to see through the illusion. Now, the weight is on you to recognize who is truly meant for you, not just who desires you the most. Now, you must discern between those who are fascinated by your presence and those who actually understand it. And that is where the challenge begins. Because admiration does not equal compatibility. Interest does not equal depth. Attraction does not equal purpose. And if you are not careful, if you allow yourself to be fooled by the illusion, if you choose based on who tries the hardest rather than who is truly aligned with you, you will find yourself surrounded by many, yet connected to none. This is why your choice must go beyond desire, beyond admiration, beyond competition. You must ask yourself, who among them truly sees you? Who among them would remain if your energy was no longer rare? Who among them is drawn to your soul, not just your presence? Because in the end, having many who want you means nothing if you cannot find even one who truly belongs beside you. Chosen one, while others fight to be chosen, while they compete for validation, while they seek to prove themselves worthy of your time, they often forget something important. It is not just about them being chosen. It is about whether or not they can handle what it means to be the one you choose. Because to be chosen by you, to stand beside you, to be granted access to the energy that so many desire, is not a passive experience. It is not simply a victory, not just a prize, not just a moment of validation that can be worn like a trophy. It is a responsibility, because those who stand beside you must be strong enough to withstand the weight of what that truly means. Most do not think of this. They think only of the excitement, the allure, the admiration that comes with being connected to someone like you. They think of how others will look at them, of how it will feel to be associated with the presence that commands attention without trying, of how it will boost their own sense of importance to be recognized by you. But they do not consider the deeper reality. To stand beside someone who does not seek validation, one must already know their own worth. To align with someone who is constantly sought after, one must be secure enough not to fear being replaced. To be chosen by someone who has many options, one must understand that their place is earned, not through competition, but through alignment. And very few are truly prepared for that. Because most people have spent their lives believing that relationships are built on proving oneself, on seeking approval, on competing for attention. They have been conditioned to think that if they try hard enough, if they present themselves well enough, if they work to be the most appealing option, they will be chosen. But with you, it does not work that way.